Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining me for this yin yoga class. I am a little under the weather and have been having a coughing fits today. So I apologize if I start to cough or if I need to leave the room to get a cough drop or something of that nature. What I wanted to talk about today is the fact that yoga is a constant process of letting go. So we are moving our body so that we can let go of the things that we've been collecting in life. We do breath work and meditation along with this movement in order to help to clear and start letting go of the obsessive thoughts and the bombardment of information that is constantly coming at us and kind of swimming in our head. So today's practice with yin is about this letting go, and letting go a little bit more. So that's going to be our goal for today's practice. And the other thing that I wanted to mention was the fact that this is now the eclipse season. 2 weeks ago, we had a solar eclipse, and that particular eclipse was all revolving around relationships. So the relationships we have with ourselves, the relations we have with other people, especially more intimate. So you may have had some things kind of coming up to the surface. You may have had some charged emotions, and something similar may be happening now. The eclipse that's occurring this weekend is going to be triggering the amygdala system, which is the emotional center in the brain. And this is how we've been shaped and conditioned. And this is a good time to look at everything from an aerial view, from a broader sense of perspective, and see if there's anything we need to let go of, to do that inner evaluation and to maybe think maybe this is a pattern that we're repeating and maybe we need to drop that pattern. Maybe that's internal thinking, maybe that's ideology, maybe that's opinions or emotions. It could even be our habits and things that we eat. Maybe looking at all of these things. What do we need to drop now in order to better ourselves? So let's go ahead and land on the mat. We're going to begin in a side child's position. So I would like you to sit on your shins and feet with your legs a little separated. Your arms are going to walk down the mat, but then immediately turn off to the right side as you fold down. As you release into the shape, notice the opening you're gaining on the left side body. Breathe fully and completely in and out through the nose. Unless you're congested like me and need to breathe through the mouth. Think about opening up the side panel of the heart. Polishing and cleansing that panel through the breath, through your awareness. Let your breath anchor you into this moment so that as you're breathing in, you're breathing into this present moment of now. And as you breathe out, you're letting go of the past, of any past residue or influence. Feel that left lung especially ballooning on the inhale. And release and deflating on the exhale. On your next inhale, lift the head up. We're going to walk it over to the left. Pour down. So now you're emphasizing the right side body. Perhaps cross comparing to notice the subtle or grand differences between the two sides. Staying in the experience, inquiring within. Even imagining you're opening up the side panel, polishing, cleansing it through the breath. So you're allowing yourself to become more transparent. Inhale, walk the hands back to the middle. We're going to rock up to hands and knees. And at that point, you're going to need to close the knees more and separate the feet apart. We're going to lower down to the right forearm and extend the left arm out in front. Keep your sits bones in midair. In other words, you're not sitting back towards your feet anymore. Thighs more perpendicular to the floor. You're allowing your low back to concave, to sway. You're allowing your chest to melt down. Your left shoulder to dip more than the right. In a half Anahatasana. I want you to just consider for a moment the blending of the poses here. We have a back bend occurring. We have a forward fold occurring because we're hinging from the hips. And we're also in an inversion. There are specific benefits to each type of these positions. So you're gaining a lot. But instead of thinking about what you're gaining, instead just consider putting all your focus on the breath. And affirming here with calm faith, I open myself to more and more light. With calm faith, I open myself to more and more light. On your next in breath, restack to tabletop, hands and knees. You're going to flip your left hand open. You're going to sweep it off to the left side. Then you're going to thread and loop it underneath the right arm, laying down to your left ear. Thread the needle. So for thread the needle, you can plug the belly in, push lightly through the right hand, roll towards that left shoulder blade if you want to be active. And if you want to be true to yin, you can just spill down to the left cheek, to the right forearm, and you can drop the chest and belly again, like you did in the previous pose. So pick the one you prefer. Open up the back of the heart. Breathe into the back of the lungs. With calm faith, I open to more and more. Similar to the previous pose, that was many different styles put together. This one is another. We've got a twist, got an inversion, and a forward fold. Press through the right hand. And you're going to slide your left forearm over and you're residing on it. Instead of allowing the belly to drop, pull it in, pick up your right leg, separate it out, power it up and back behind you, spread the toes, and then exhale, work the side obliques and draw it in towards the side body. Inhale, stretch it out and up. Exhale, contract and draw it in. That's 2. We're going to do 3 more. Slow, steady breathing. Slow, conscious movements. I think this is 4. After you kind of draw it in towards the out frame of the arm, lower the right knee, pick up the left arm, step your hands just beyond your shoulders to curl the toes, to launch up and back to downward facing dog. Be established here. Then we're going to pump the heels up and down by inhale, lifting them high, and then exhale, dropping them low. Lifting them up, sinking them down. Moving up on the in-breath, shifting down on the out-breath. This not only stretches the calves, the Achilles tendons, but it helps to drain the lymphatic fluid in the lower body. Let's walk the hands back towards the feet. Drape over, then in half. Arms and head releasing. Putting a little bit more emphasis on the out breath here. Maybe being inquisitive. Do you have fear of change? If so, can we work on letting that go? Maybe it's just a hard habit to break. Maybe it's finding the courage and the discipline to let whatever that is go. Now, let's start to walk the hands back out in front of us. Coming to your downward facing dog again. Be a little bit more static and still. Creating the form, finding your breath. Affirming here, let there be more light. And then lifting your heels up and down again. Breathing it up. Breathing it down. Slow, steady pace. And the next time you lift, settle back down to your knees, untuck your toes. Your left arm's going to cross in front. Your right arm is going to extend out before you. Half melting heart. The blend of a back bend, forward fold, and inversion. Let the belly sink. Let your chest drop. And the right shoulder sag down. So remember, there's tons of lymph nodes in the pits of the arms that carry white blood cells. This is also a place where things collect that may be a little toxic in the body or the body doesn't know what to do with, such as chemicals or impurities. So look at this as a detoxification. Releasing what doesn't serve us, hanging on to what benefits us. Firming internally with calm faith, I open to more and more life. With calm faith, I open to more and more life. And slide the right hand back. We'll stack onto both palms. We're going to reverse this. So going from a back bend to contract the belly, holding the cat stretch, arcing up high through the shoulder blades, feeling in that gap. Pressing the floor away from you with your hands, shins and feet. And then go ahead and neutralize the spine. Flip your right hand open, twist to the right, and now thread and loop it under the left for thread the needle pose. You can be active or passive in your approach, yin or yang. We hold these poses longer. We're not just cleaning out our system, actually improving our flexibility. Let's do the left palm. Slide your right forearm over. Pick up the left leg. Spread out through the toes. Exhale, work the side obliques as you draw the left knee in towards the out frame of the arm. Inhale, power it back, up and out. Exhale, draw it back into self. That's 2, 3 more. And lower the left knee. Build back up to tabletop with your hand stepping as hand on. Tuck the toes, lift back, downward facing dog. Let's travel the hands back towards the feet again. Lowering the belly towards your thighs, heart towards the knees. Take your fingertips and start rubbing your scalp as if you were washing your hair. Massage your scalp in a circular formation. There's tons of marma points or acupressure points on the head. You can even squeeze in and up. That kind of platelets to the sides of your head, right above your ears. And then let your arms flop. Walk it back out to down dog. Holding this position. Gazing back towards the feet. Affirming light is radiating throughout every fiber of the being. Inhale, lift the left leg halfway up. Exhale, swing it through behind the hands. Let's prepare for swan or pigeon. If you need deer, bend the right knee, fold over the left shin. Otherwise, be on the top of the right leg, the hip point square, and bring it down to your level or where you want to hang out today. Let's saturate this left hip. Close the eyes. Merge with the light. The best way to merge with the light is to form that relationship with your breath. we'll slowly start to uplift. And once you stack on your hands, you're going to shimmy that left knee to the center of the mat. Tuck the back toes. Bring that right knee to tuck up underneath the left. Sit back in between the feet if your body allows. Now that the left leg's crossed over the right, your right arm's going to lift up. Your hand's going to turn, and then the elbow's going to bend. Use your free hand to tuck that arm a little closer to your head. Circle that hand, palm facing out behind your back. See if you can walk it in between the shoulder blades. If your fingers happen to tap together, you can loop them, grip them. Don't worry if they don't. If you're getting crooked in your side body, lift through the vertebrae, straighten back up. Gomukhasana, face of light pose. Close your eyes and visualize as you're breathing. You're magnetizing the Sushumna channel. Right in front of the physical spine, what's called the astral spine or hara line. It's bringing that light up to fill up and to illuminate the face, the eyes, the third eye. Palm of faith. I fill up with more and more light. Now on your exhalation, you can remove the hands apart, and then we're going to fold over the lap. You can use your arms as a shield if that's enough for your body. You can also dump the weight and round the back if your body allows. Hips play an important piece, and not just the hips, but the whole sacral chakra in this idea and aspect of letting go, removing things out, dropping the patterns, freeing up ourselves emotionally or from any burdens that we're carrying. The exhalations can be of great assistance. Leading my first retreat to India. And this week we have been working on our visas in order to enter India. And it involves some heavy duty paperwork and photographs that are very precise. PDF or JPEG, certain dimensions. And we've had a lot of emails going back and forth and some frustrations along the way. And we're all being reminded to use our yoga. to use our breath, to be patient, to breathe through that daunting process. So know that this isn't the only yoga we practice. We take these tools, we take these lessons, we apply them to paperwork, we apply them to work, we apply them to recreational activities, we apply them to this, that, and the other. Inhale it slowly back out of that hip work. And in this next position, you're welcome to use a strap, although I don't have a strap handy. So I'm going to suggest holding the calf as you straighten the leg, or grabbing a hold of the outside of the foot. And when you lift the leg up, notice I'm sending it across the lap still. And then I need to correct my spine. So I lift the heart up, lift the top of the head up. Your left arm will sail in front of you, and then you're going to twist to the left. Hold and breathe. Exhale, let's unwind. When you lower the left leg, the hands will come forward, the left knee will drop, the right foot steps back. We return to downward facing dog, because now we get that sequence on the other side. Right leg lifts. Exhale, swing it through behind your hands. Slide your left leg back unless you need deer as an alternative. And then you can always stay in this higher formation, or you can drop lower towards the sleeping version. You can even go lower than I am, but I've had a break from my yoga practice. So I'm trying not to do too much or go too far today. relationships are both relational as well as a lesson of letting go. Steeping in this hip opener just slightly longer today. Steeping up with the eclipse. Elevate our upper body. When we do that, shift your right knee to the middle. Slip your left knee, tuck it under. Walk it back. Sit back down. And then I'll turn this way. Because we're going to change it up here. The left arm's going to lift now. The hand will turn. The arm will bend. If it flops out, use the free hand to tuck it in. Right arm threads behind the back. Wiggle it up. It may not touch. If you start to get all crooked through the side body, straighten up. Keep the heart wide open. Imagine your heart line is filled with light, and it's shining and illuminating your entire face. Then let's release that arm work and we're going to fold back over the lap for some more hip work. What needs to dissolve away here? And this is where, again, if you have a strap available, use a strap. If you want to hold the calf, great. If you can tag the foot, do that. We're straightening it out. We're also lifting through the spine, sending the right arm forward, and then allowing that to take us into the twist as we swing it back behind us. Let's rotate out of that twist. You can send that right foot down, and we're going to separate the feet. Now, if you want or would rather do a squat where you're hovering, you can do that. If you would like a block to sit on to be more restorative, or you can even establish your seat on the floor with your knees bent, lowering the head to prayer hands. We're not going to stay in this one long. As you inhale, lift the head up. So forward folds can be a little aggravating to the sinuses if you already have cold or congestion. And that's why I had to leave briefly. This one we're getting ready to do is excellent for helping to open it back up. So we're going to come down to our backs. Knees bent, have the block in hand, press through the feet, tuck and lift, come to supported half bridge. And then once you're here, let's fly the feet up to waterfall. Now, there's different variations of waterfall. The active form is using the arms as the platform instead of the block. There's also something a little bit more supportive with the bolster under the hips and the legs up the wall. This is my favorite. We are having a full moon lunar eclipse this weekend. The last eclipse was the solar eclipse with the new moon. So this pose is actually great around the full moon as well. Let's keep the right leg up for a moment and slowly take the left leg to the floor. See if you can keep the left leg straight as it drops to the heel. Inhale, left leg up. Rejoin the other. Pause and be here. This is great for circulation too. Lowering the right leg. Now let's lower the left leg to join the other. If the legs are straight, you're in more of a supported full bridge. The knees are needing to bend, that's okay. That's the half bridge. Notice the difference with your arms still beside you, and maybe explore taking the arms overhead. This feels necessary, feels like a really nice opening that you need, then feel free to stay here. If you'd rather come out and do something more relaxing for Shavasana, this is your opportunity. So you may want to just bend the knees at first. Lift away from the block. Use the hands to remove the block. Roll it down, maybe tucking the knees in as a counter. And then it's time for Shavasana. So if you want a back bend, add the bolster under your back. You want the bolster underneath your knees. That should be pretty simplistic from here. I'm going to sit my legs up the chair, which you could also do if you have some furniture around. And take rest. calm faith, I open myself to more and more light. Let there be more light. There's a famous quote that says, yoga ignites a light, and once lit cannot be dimmed. But the steadier and more disciplined the practice, the brighter the light will become. Use this time wisely to be contemplative or meditative, or to ignite the light within. Clearing that little home. Go ahead and deepen the flow of your breath, exiting out of the pose that you had chosen, coming up to a more formal seat. Sits, their hands together in prayer. We all walk away from this practice, remembering the tools that we've learned here on the mat, putting them to use. And we all walk away feeling more comfortable, at peace, and free in our minds, bodies, and hearts. Then we walk away from this practice being willing to help others. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.